Good afternoon and welcome to the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Memorial Center. Darryl Smart along with you for the ride today for game number 2 of this Northern Premier Hockey League Metropolitan Conference Final. It's been a journey for both teams all season long to get here, with the two teams left standing here in the Metropolitan Conference in this newly formed league. In this newly formed conference, and of course the Alvinston Killer Bees have been the cream of the crop all season long. They've been kind of the poster child for the NPHL. Fantastic crowds, fantastic lineup, super deep, and they've been running through the South Division all this season and made it all the way here to this Metropolitan Conference Final. First, they disposed of the Woodstock Lakers rather easily, and then in the semifinal, or in the South Final, they faced off against their geographical rivals, the Strathroy Jets. These two teams have played against each other in other leagues prior to this season, and finally, the Alvinston Killer Bees got over the hump this season in a thrilling series against the Strathroy Jets to punch their ticket here. And then down to the other end, it's the Six Nations Ironmen. The Ironmen in their inaugural Senior A season. And it has been a storybook season for this franchise. Of course, this is a team that played in tournaments over the last couple seasons. And with some revamping of the lineup, and of course, Ryan Davis and Darryl Anderson behind the bench. Ryan Davis named NPHL Metropolitan Conference Coach of the Year, and Darryl Anderson named Executive of the Year. So congratulations to them. And they've got this team running on all cylinders. Pretty talented lineup all season long, and they've just found their legs and they've found each other and really built a lot of chemistry throughout this season. And in their playoff run to get to this NPHL Metropolitan Conference Final, they disposed of the Halton Hills Coyotes, and then in a rough and tumble series with their new rivals, the Orangeville Blitz, defeated them in 6 games to punch their ticket to this very series. In between the pipes today, we've got Caden Fulcher down to the other end for the Killer Bees. He and Joe Raymakers have shared the duties all season long. And away we go with Josh Schlegers touching the puck first. He gets it down to Shaftsma. Shaftsma rims it all the way around. Talk about Schlegers, number 53 for the Alvinston Killer Bees. He's from this area. He's a Port Dover resident. Covered him many a year. Down to the other end, starting goaltender. No surprise here, Chris Hrabeck. He has been quite easily the MVP of this playoff in the Metropolitan Conference so far. He's been fantastic. He's got the call once again, and here's a centering pass. That one out to Lamoureux. He couldn't get a handle on it as the Ironmen finally get down to the other end. There's a shot by Theo Hill, tipped up by the stick of Owen McGowan, the defenseman for the Alvinston Killer Bees. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We've been enjoying bringing you Six Nations Ironman hockey all season long. We get a little bit more in this Metropolitan Conference Final. Ratchford out the green. Green's going to wrist it, and that tip attempt by Theo Hill failed. Tyler with it. Tyler shot. That one deflected off a defender. Of course, game number 1 was last night out in Alvinston. 2-2 heading into the third period. And the Killer Bees pulled ahead with the pair of goals to go 4-2. And there's a tip from LaForme and a nice save by Fulcher. Killer Bees break out of their own end now, back deep into the Ironman zone. LaForme picks it up. He's going to look, tries to stretch it out. There's an intercepted pass and a save by Hrabeck. Let's take a look at that one right off the hop here. Sheldon Thompson with the shot, and just an innocent play. And I think that's one thing, or that's one department that the Ironmen really have to clean up from the last round. Those intercepted passes, I know it's nice to stretch the ice a little bit, but they got to do that with a side of caution with the Alvinston Killer Bees in the zone there. There's a tip attempt. That one just goes wide of Horebeck, picked up by Schlegers. There's a pass. That is a beautiful stop off the stick of Krupa. And Horebeck fully controls that one as Ratchford gets the puck. Ratchford, he's going to break the puck out. Puck intercepted, and now onto the blue line. Puck deep in. Slagers and Hopkins battle for it into the corner. Hopkins wins the battle. Farmer, he's going to rim it around the boards. Find Ratchford. Ratchford, he's going to dump it in. Mitch Brown in pursuit of it. Green keeps it in. Brown to Farmer. Farmer's going to wind up. That one goes over the shoulder of Fulcher. Green with it again. The captain. There's a shot. Pad saved by Fulcher. Ratchford recovers. Ratchford controls. There's a attempted shot on net. Goes through the maze and into the possession of the Alvinston Killer Bees. Again, talking about goaltenders. The Alvinston Killer Bees so deep in net with Caden Fulcher and Joe Raymakers, both fantastic goaltenders and a great pedigree for sure. OHL experience, pro hockey experience, U Sport experience. As the Alvinston Killer Bees dump the puck into the zone, there's a heavy hit in this crowd. You can hear it already. And hats off to the Alvinston Killer Bees and their organization. They travel well. They had a coach bus full of fans, which is great to see. And you can see all the, on your screen down on the right side, the yellow and black dressed fans. Those are right by the Killer Bees bench as Damon DeCare tries to stretch things out as Theo Hill tips it into the zone. Bridgeland, he has it. He's trying to center it out. Tried to find Brendan Anderson, but the net off its moorings. Fulcher going side to side and knocks it off. And again, part of the goaltenders union, that's just one of those things that happens. And of course, these posts come off a little bit easy, I'm not going to lie. LaForme and Shavsma on the draw. Shavsma wins it. The Killer Bees have possession. Attempted dump in. Sukal picks it up, stretches it out to LaForme, who tips it down in. Now Laurie has it. He's going to try the breakout pass. That gets intercepted by Tyler Hill. Tyler Hill tried to find Cowan. There's Tyler again with the shot. That one goes over Fulcher's shoulder. Lamoureux out to Gagner. Gagner's going to tip it in behind the net. Lamoureux tries to center it but can't. LaForme deep in his own zone. He's going to look for a breakout pass to Tycee Cowan. Cowan loses the puck. And we've got ourselves another offside call here. So yes, last night in Alvinston, Grant Spence got things started, and then Tyler Hill, Theo Hill scored to make it 2-1 in favor of the Ironmen in the second period before Brandon Couto scored the first of his 2 goals in a row. Scored the tying and then the winner, and then Grant Spence. There's a shot and a goal! Take a look at the replay on that one as we were resetting last night's action. And it looks like Couto strikes again. Couto had 2 goals last night. So we'll take a look here. That's what I was just finishing up. Couto with the shot. There's a quick shot. And that one goes through the pad of Horebeck and the Alvinston Killer Bees. Up early here, 1-0, thanks to the shot of Brandon Couto. So 3 goals for Couto in this Metropolitan Conference final so far. He's riding the hot streak right now. Killer Bees looking for some more here. 15 minutes to go here in the first frame. His shot saved by Horebeck and picked up by Anderson, who dumps it in. Bridgeland. First one in, tries to center it, but can't. And Killer Bees are going to come right back out. McEwen. There's a quick shot. Oh boy, oh boy. And guess who that was? That was Brandon Couteau. Another shot and a big save by Horebeck. Theo, he's going to get into the slot area, try to wind up for a shot, but the Killer Bees defense swallow that one up. Thompson, he's along the right side. He's trying to wrist it, and that one goes off the stick of the captain of the Ironmen, Mitch Green, that goes up into the stands. Again, fantastic crowd on hand here at the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Memorial Center. And that's one thing I've noticed about this Six Nations Ironman franchise. From day one, the crowds have been growing. I think word around the community is growing and growing, and as that happens, the crowds have been getting bigger and bigger. As Tycee Cowan up the right side, he tries to find Sean General, who's seeing his first action in the playoffs. Right, big shot and a save, all swallowed up, no rebound. I think that's something that Killer Bees are going to try to do here. They're going to try and get as many shots on net on Horebeck as possible. They're going to try and tire him out. Craig Wright in the face-off dot. He wins it. The battle with General. There's another shot. That one from Cunningham. That one goes wide as the puck goes into the corner to the left of Horebeck to the right of us. Killer Bees with it. There's a shot from Wright. It looks like he's tripped up, and the puck goes down deep into the corner. Cowan is along the boards. He's trying to get the puck out. Checked off the puck, but was able to get it out. As Laurie dumps it down all the way, rims all the way around to Dezane. Dezane, he's trying to find Kessler Sky, but couldn't connect. Sky with the interception, but couldn't get control as the Bees maintain Kessler Sky with it. He's going to play two-man hockey here with Tyler Hill, who fanned on the shot. Sukol crosses the blue line. Finds Kessler Sky. Sky with the shot. That one off a shin pad and into the corner. Here's a centering pass. Fulcher gets it, and Kessler Sky with another opportunity. That's something to watch for. Ironman trying to feed Kessler Sky 91. Both teams continuing on here. Great sustained action, both ends of the ice in the early going here. Theo Hill wins the draw against McEwen, but the Bees end up with the puck and control. Into the own end. There's all alone. Oh boy. McEwen with the opportunity. Fanned on it in front of the net. We'll take a look at the replay. Great tracking by Horebeck here. But again, I think that's something the Killer Bees are going to do a lot of. They're going to try and get behind the Ironman defense, who tend to pinch just a little bit. They do a lot of gambling here to create offensive opportunities. They did that in that series against Orangeville. And there were a couple of times where the Orangeville Blitz would get in behind the defense, create an opportunity, but Horebeck was always there for the stop, and this time no exception there is Chris Horebeck ready for action. Underway here, just under 12 to go in the first period. Anderson tries to go cross country to Ratchford. Ratchford tries to center it, but intercepted by Couteau, the lone goal scorer so far in this matchup. Marshall goes around the boards, hands it off to McGowan, who breaks out the pass. Couteau, shot, that one goes wide. Couteau really does a nice job of just holding on to that puck for that extra second. You just tell the experience on him. McGowan breaking out of his own zone, going to call his own number as he crosses the Ironman blue line. Backhands it in, dumps it in all the way to the other side as Bridgeland now stretches it out, tries to find Brendan Anderson. Anderson out to Theo. Anderson again, cycling the puck. Bridgeland now in behind. Bridgeland, he's going to circle. Shot, there's a save by Fulcher. And a nice save by Caden Fulcher. Take a look at the replay on that one. Again, Bridgeland setting up nicely in behind the net here. They're trying to get things. They're trying to get Fulcher, it looks like. They're trying to get him going side to side. Looks like he's having trouble with that edge, especially along the post area, knocking off the post. So they're going to try and get him going side to side here, it looks like. DeCare's shot. That one tipped by Farmer, but just wide of Fulcher. Ironman still in control. Brown in behind the net. He's going to feed it. Tried to find Farmer, but couldn't connect as the puck goes all the way through. Brown again in behind the net. He's going to cycle it into Farmer. Puck comes way out. Dezane blast. That one goes all the way off the boards, and Karam's about to the red line. Krupa. Krupa's got numbers. Oh boy, there's a save. Clip that one, folks. As Chris Raybeck had to be ready for that one as the Killer Bees had numbers on here. Krupa sliding it over. And a nice save by Raybeck as he covers it up, and we're going to have a face-off to the left of him. Just over 10 and a half to go here in the first period. Shot easily handled by the stick of Raybeck, deflected over this glass, a little bit short here. As a lucky fan got a souvenir here. LaForme and Shaftsma on the draw. Puck deep picked up by LaForme. LaForme, he's going to cross the blue line. Has it, Sukol shot, scores! Isaac Sukol with the goal. In the Six Nations, Ironmen tie it up. And a great effort by Stephen LaForme. Let's take a look at the replay on this one. And just a great battle won by Steve LaForme. Guy's like a tank. Gets it over to Sukol, and Sukol tucks it in on the corner. And we've got ourselves a tie game at the midway point. Just over the midway point. 21 seconds away from that. This first period. Bees control. There's a centering pass to LaForme. Saved by Fulcher, and Kessler Sky almost picked up the garbage and hammered it home, but the Bees defense pick it up. Laurie, he's going to break out pass. Out to McEwen. McEwen's going to dump it in. Sukol, the goal scorer, tries to wrap it around the boards, but misses. And looks like Isaac Sukol is going to go to the penalty box for a delay of game call. That's an unfortunate bounce for the Ironmen and Isaac Sukol, who just was trying to clear it. It looked like the puck was rolling on him, and he got the scoop, and he scooped it out. But nonetheless, didn't hit any glass, and the puck went out, so that's an automatic. And I think that's what Mitch Green is trying to explain to the referees there, as the puck was just kind of rolling, but those are the rules, and the Alvinston Killer Bees on their first power play of this game number 2. Bees in control of the puck. Couteau, he's up top. He looks like he's controlling. Lamoureux gets it into Thompson. Thompson gets a handle on the puck, but is beaten by Raybeck, who makes a nice save there. So McEwen Lamoureux, McGowan, Couteau, and Thompson here on the power play. McEwen, he's going to get it out to McGowan. He's going to go cross ice to Couteau. Couteau couldn't get a complete handle on it. Brings it back to Thompson. Thompson back to the point. Couteau. Couteau back to Thompson. Thompson looks to get in the slot area. Yeah, nice patience by Hrebeck on that one as Lamoureux got out in front, tried to stuff it in, but was trying to bait Hrebeck, but Hrebeck standing tall, not giving him anything to shoot at. Bees try to get possession of the puck into the neutral zone and do. Try to dump in, but picked up by Theo Hill. He's going to dump it down as the Bees get control again and head into the Ironman zone. Couteau leads the way. Finds McEwen. He's going to spin around and get it out to Thompson. Thompson spinning off the check from Theo Hill. Now Lamoureux with it. There's a shot. Rebound comes out. There's another shot. Rebound big comes out, but swallowed up by Theo Hill, who dumps it down. Mitch Brown on the break. Wrists it towards the net, but deflected off the stick of McGowan. McGowan, he's going to chip it out to McEwen. McEwen's going to enter into the Ironman zone. That shot blocked by DeCare. DeZane brings it out to Mitch Brown. He tries to get around the defense, but couldn't, as Caden Fulcher is going to grab the puck, corrals it, and covers it up, and we're going to have ourselves a face-off. To the left of Fulcher, to the right of us here on our screen here. Just over 7:40 to go here in the first period again. Ironman 1, Killer Bees 1 here, game number 2. Face-off, won by DeCare. We're back to 5-on-5 action here. There's a centering attempt. That one off the stick of Hopkins. As the Bees come for more. Gagne leads the way, dumps it in, and Krupa battling along the boards with DeZane on it. Loose puck on the other side of the net here is the Ironman gain control. And Farmer has it. Farmer dumps it in. Loose puck picked up at the neutral zone. Jake Brown's going to dump it in easily as Hopkins, Bridgeland in behind the net. Looking to center, but looks to center again. There's a backhand attempt. That one from Hopkins, but Fulcher was there in the RVH and made the save. Krupa battling with Jake Brown as Brown wins the battle and hands it off to Laforme, who tries to dump it out but can't. Wright centers it. There's a big hit from Laforme. He hits Ron Bouts, who was almost all alone, as Tyler Hill comes down to the other end. There's a shot to goal! Boy, oh boy! Clip that shot! As Tyler Hill goes top cheddar in the Six Nations Ironman. Make it 2-1. Let's take a look at this. Boy, oh boy, innocent looking play. But that heavy shot of Tyler Hill, watch him change the direction of his stick. Brings it in, out by his toe. And just that small movement changes the complexion of things for the goaltender's angle. And Fulcher had a beat on Hill, but he tucked it in, made that movement, and he made room for himself, created space, and tucked her top corner. Boy, oh boy, what a shot. That was a laser. Knowing firsthand how hard Tyler shoots, especially with that wrist shot, I felt it in the shoulder before, and not fun. Bees called on the offside there as they tried to enter into the Ironman zone. And just like that, it looks like the aforementioned Tyler Hill is going to the penalty box. And the Bees are going to head to the power play for a second consecutive opportunity. So the Ironmen kill off a penalty, then score a goal, and now the Bees are back on with the man advantage as McGowan dumps it in. Well, that one is touched by the stick of Sheldon Thompson, and the Killer Bees are offside. So Ratchford, Theo Hill, Brendan Anderson, and Mitch Green killing this penalty off. Couteau leading the way. So Tyler Hill goes to the penalty box for tripping as the Bees enter into the Ironman zone. Thompson works it out to McEwen. Back to Thompson in the corner. He's going to cycle it out to Couteau, and of course Couteau's got the goal for the Bees. Couteau up top, he's going to drop it back. Out to Thompson. Thompson, there's a quick tic-tac and no toe on that. There it is, again the one-time shot. That one off the stick of McGowan. Killer Bees really doing a nice job of trying to work the side and trying to work that weak side one time. And James McEwen with the one-time opportunity. That was a great little pass by Ethan Lamoureux. But Horebeck was up to task on it as the Bees win another draw here as Ratchford's just going to collect it, dump it all the way down. That's a tough save, actually. As easy as that looks, Fulcher had to be ready for that bounce as McGowan comes in. McGowan on the left side. He's going to try and center it. Tried to find Thompson, but is met by Tycee Cowan as he jostles with James McEwen. Bees breaking into their own zone and into the Ironman zone deep. Thompson, first man in. Gets it out to Lamoureux. Lamoureux on the boards. Back to McEwen and Lamoureux. McEwen out to Couteau. Couteau's up the middle. There's the one-time opportunity for McEwen again. Looks like Couteau and McEwen are going to try and make that happen down on the weak side, just like I was saying. Tyler Hill out of the box. There's a one-time attempt by Couteau, but he couldn't pick it up, and the Ironmen are going to dump this one out, and that's 2 penalty kills in a row for the Ironmen. That's something to note. Make sure you note that one as we go forward into this game number 2 of the NPHL Metropolitan Conference Final. Bees in the Ironman zone, trying to center it, but Ratchford picks it up. He's going to dump it out of the zone. Picked up by Mitch Brown. Brown, he's going to backhand it in. Fulcher's going to set up shop out behind the net. Shaftsma crosses the blue line. There's a shot, goal! And just like that, folks, the Killer Bees tie things up here, and we're going to take a look at it as just an innocent play by Shaftsma. He's going to cross over into the blue line. And I could tell you what Horebeck was going to do. He was going to try and deflect the puck into the corner. And again, having had that happen before personally, it's one of those ones where it's tough, where you're thinking about directing the puck instead of trying to stop the puck. You're thinking more of the redirect. And it looked like that's what Horebeck did on that one. He was paying attention to the redirect and trying to put it in the corner for his defense, opposed to just kind of stopping it as Josh Slegers has it. Slegers looks for more. There's a shot along the ice. And that's a big save if you're an Ironman fan and a Chris Horebeck fan. You let a goal like that in, the best thing to do is have a puck just hit you and reset yourself, and that's exactly what Chris Horebeck has done. You could see after the goal, the Ironman teammates going over to Horebeck saying, "Don't worry about that, man. We've got you." And that's just good teammates right there. Bees try to break out. pass attempt failed, but now into the possession of Theo Hill and the Ironmen. Theo's going to dump it in. Mitch Green looked like he was going to pursue, but peels back and goes back to his defensive post, and now tried to pick off the stretch pass in favor of Cunningham. Ratchford thwarts that effort. It was a nice stretch pass by the Bees, who were trying to get in behind the Ironman defense. Theo Hill's shot, that one just goes wide of Fulcher. The puck just goes in front of us and back into the neutral zone here as Mitch Green dumps it in. McGowan now, big shot. And a save by Hrebeck. Not a bad shot selection from Owen McGowan, especially after a goal like that second Killer Bees goal. You want to get the shot on net and maybe just try and catch him off guard, catch Hrebeck off guard. McEwen and Brown on the face-off. As the puck goes deep in the Ironman zone. Green tries to stretch pass, and it goes all the way down, got the curling brooms out, went through the crease, so no icing on it. As McGowan has it now. McGowan breaks out, hands it off to Couteau. Couteau now into Thompson. Thompson, shot, save by Hrebeck. And this is the Killer Bees' MO here, just trying to get pucks on net onto Chris Hrebeck. Of course, last night in game number 1, Hrebeck made 43 saves, so the Killer Bees no strangers to putting puck on net. And Chris Hrebeck having the yeoman's duty, being outshot. And there's the puck all the way deep, and then we're going to have ourselves an icing call as Kessler Sky blows a wheel down in the corner and has a laugh on that one. .47 seconds to go here in the opening frame. Ironman 2, Killer Bees 2, game number 2 of this NPHL Metropolitan Conference Final. Ratchford breaks out of the zone. Give and go with LaForme, who's a goal scorer in this one. Bees looking to take the puck out, and that one goes up off the glass and hits the ceiling and back down onto the ice. And you got a face-off with 31 seconds to go here in the first period, deep in the Killer Bees zone. Nice little opportunity for the Ironmen here. Make a set play. Theo Hill on the draw against Shaftsma, the last goal scorer for the Killer Bees. Theo now with it. Down to Sukal. He's got one. Sukal keeps it in, and a little bit of a volleyball match or a handball match. Sukal tried to bring it down and off a Killer Bees glove on the bench, so we're going to have another face-off. This one to the right of Fulcher again. 22 seconds to go here in the frame. Ratchford up top. There's a shot tipped rather high by Anderson and into the corner. Lamoureux picks it up. He's going to break out pass out to Gagner. Gagner spins around, pass to Shaftsma. Shaftsma shot handled by the shoulder of Hrebeck. And it looks like that's all she wrote for the first period. And after 20 minutes of play in this first period of the NPHL Metropolitan Conference Final, it is the Six Nations Ironmen 2, the Alvinston Killer Bees 2. Shots on net after 20 minutes of play. The Alvinston Killer Bees out shooting the Ironmen 16-14. So the Killer Bees up in that department. Of course, they have the 2 power play opportunities as well. Just recapping the scoring summary here. The Killer Bees getting on the board first. Brandon Couteau is third of the Metropolitan conference final. Of course, he scored 2 goals last night, was the second star of the game. Of course, Joe Raymakers was the first star of the game yesterday, and he, of course, is sitting on the bench today in favor of Caden Fulcher. After Couteau's goal, the Ironmen struck twice, killed a penalty, and then Isaac Sukol with that beautiful pass from Steve Laforme to make it 1-1 before Tyler Hill with the laser beam of a shot went top cheddar, make it 2-1 Ironman. And then Jamie Shaftsma breaking over the blue line and a nice hard shot along the ice. That one beat Horebeck. And that's where we're at 2 goals apiece after 20 minutes. So they do the chuck-a-puck and they're going to clean the ice. I'm going to take a break, and we will be back with more Six Nations Ironman hockey when the second period begins. Thanks again for watching. Welcome back to the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Memorial Center. Darryl Smart along with you for the ride today for this game number 2 of the Northern Premier Hockey League Metropolitan Conference Final between the Alvinston Killer Bees and the Six Nations Ironmen. Again, thank you very much for following us all season long. It's great to have extra NPHL action here on the Darryl Smart Media YouTube page, which is fantastic. Again, resetting the first period. Shots on goal, 16-14 in favor of the Bees. Brandon Couteau got things started. Then Isaac Sukul, Tyler Hill respond to take the lead before Jamie Shaftsma tied things up. And that's where we are for period number 2. And here we go. Theo Hill wins the draw as the Ironmen take control and dump it down into the Bees' end. Bridgeland, he's going to check McGowan as Theo Hill now gets it, and Bridgeland in behind the net. There's a centering pass to Anderson, but he couldn't connect. Lamoureux skating with it. He's checked off the puck by Jake Brown. Brown still in control, and then Lamoureux picks it up into the corner. Lamoureux checked by Brown once again, and another time finally gets him off the puck. Shaftsma tries to get it by Bridgeland, but can't. Lamoureux with it in behind the net. Got Gagner in front of the net, but he couldn't, so we rimmed it around. This Sukul's going to tip it past Lamoureux. Anderson tries to chip it out, but can't. Puck still in. Gagner shot and then blocked by Anderson, who shoves Gagner aside. Bridgeland now with it down the right side as Bridgeland's going to circle in behind the net. Tries to center it to find Anderson, but couldn't connect with him. The captain, Mitch Green, hands it off to Sukul. He's going to dump it in, but picked up by the Bees. Bees cross into the Ironman zone one more time as Thompson. He's going to try and shoot it on net, and that one's tipped up by Sukul. The puck back down in the Bees zone. Marshall out to Couteau. He scored the first goal, and the nifty move there as he tries centering it. Tried to find Thompson, but couldn't connect as Laforme now comes out with it. Tyler Hill along the boards. He's going to win the battle. Look up, tries to cycle it along the boards, but puck in possession of the Bees. Couteau, Thompson. Out to McEwen. There's a big shot and a save off the glove of Horebeck, and McEwen looked up to the ceiling after that one. Thought he had the corner picked, but Horebeck up to task on it. Green out the Hill, who dumps it, but picked up by Couteau and the Alvinston Killer Bees. The neutral zone battle continues as the puck now into the Bees zone. Mitch Brown with it. He's going to spin around. Gets it out to the point to Ratchford. He's going to wrist it down. Tip, scores! Tyler Hill with the tip. And the Six Nations Ironmen with the 3-2 lead. Off the tip from Tyler Hill. As we'll take a look at the replay on that one in the emphatic celebration from Tyler Hill. Again, just trying to get the puck on net. There's the tip and the celly from Tyler Hill, and we're now at 3-2 Ironmen. Sleggers. He's going to try and get the puck. There's a big hit from Hopkins as Farmer gets it now. Farmer dumps it in behind the net. Farmer again! As Fulcher knocks off the post once again. That's about the third time the net has come off the moorings, but again, the way that he's edging his skate off his push, he's going to knock that thing off every single time, and that's not his fault. That's just him trying to push off the net. And that's a bit of a weak mooring, I'll give you that. having knocked off these moorings more than a couple of times. He's got his skate on that post, and that's where he gets into trouble there, instead of having the toe tie wrapped up on the post. There's a dump in attempt, hitting the ceiling. As our music man and PA announcer Jay Smart announces the goal. And of course, Jace heavily involved in the Junos this week in the Hamilton and the Six Nations, the Grand River area. He's a music man and a producer, artist. There's a Ironmen dump. Stretch pass attempt, went through a couple of sticks and no icing called on that one as McGowan heads out of his own zone. As Krupa has it now. Krupa met by Ratchford. Ratchford, a one-man band in the corner as he's now getting support from Brown. Ratchford still leading the scrum, gets the puck up to Hopkins, and now onto the stick of Mitch Green. Green's got Brown with him. Brown shot back to Green into the corner. He's going to cycle it down. Puck tipped out by the Bees as Ratchford dumps it back in, and looks like the Ironmen are going to go for a wholesale change here. McGowan, he's seen a lot of ice time so far on the blue line. He's going to dump it in, and Horebek's going to perimeter on the boards. Puck goes back deep into the Ironman zone. DeCare, he's going to backhand it in to Dzane. Dzane using the backhand. Tried to get it to Cowan, who's met by the check of Faulkner. McEwen gets it out to Faulkner. Faulkner tried to keep it in, dumps it in, but couldn't keep it in. Just oh so close off the blue line, and he dumped it in and ended up getting touched by an Alvinston killer to be forward, and we've got ourselves an icing just in front of the Bees bench here. Shaftsma with the face-off victory as he tips it into the Ironman zone in pursuit with DeCare. DeCare off the glass, gets it by Faulkner as Cowan now races past Faulkner and goes to the ground. Skylar Thomas and Tycee Cowan, two buzzsaws on the wings trying to get it, but couldn't, as Lamoureux now has it. Lamoureux, he tried to find Shaftsma but couldn't. Lamoureux still with the puck. Knocked off finally. Faulkner dumps it in. As they look to change here as Dzane with the breakout pass to General. Anderson, he's going to dump it down deep. Haven't heard much from Anderson so far. And of course, big goal scorer in that series with Orangeville. But here he is. There's a big shot. And Fulcher had to reach far and wide for that one off the pad and glove of Fulcher. And a big wrist shot. There's Brendan Anderson making some noise now. Sleggers battles along with Theo. Gets it out to Anderson. He's going to drop it down to Sokol, who shot on net as Fulcher reached behind him. We'll take a look at the replay on that one. But a great shot. And again, that's what the Ironmen want to do. They want to get shots on net here. And Fulcher felt it in between the legs and had to reach back. The Bees win the draw, and McGowan dumps that one as he gets an earful from Brendan Anderson as Anderson skates by McGowan. Hopkins and McEwen on the draw as Sleggers drops it back to cycle it to his own defense. But that's failed attempt. There's a centering pass from McEwen out to nowhere and onto the stick of Sukal into his own end. Bridgeland gets possession in his own zone. He's going to stretch it out to Theo. Theo Hill over the blue line. has Bridgeland with them and up high on Anderson. Anderson picks it up, loses it off the Bees check as McGowan breakout pass to Thompson. Thompson, there's a quick shot from Couto. That one goes well wide. McEwen out to Couto, gets it out to the point. There's a shot. That one handled nicely by Harebek. That one off the stick of Connor Laurie. That's just a nice pass. As you can see, this is what the Bees are doing. They're just trying to get it out, get out in behind the Ironmen, whether it's in behind them or up top. They're creating a lot of space here. Draw won by the Ironmen is Ratchford now. He's going to lead the way. Ratchford across the blue line. He tries to dump it down in on Fulcher, but his shot attempt was tipped by a Kittler Bees stick. And the ceiling here at the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Memorial Center getting a workout this afternoon, that's for sure. Wright wins the draw. Tyler Hill with that wrist shot. Here's the rebound. LaForme almost picked it up but couldn't quite get a handle on it. Dump in by the Ironmen again. Krupa now with it. He sends out to Wright. Wright tries to beat the defense. Spins around, shoots wildly, and goes into the corner. Rombouts loses the battle. The Bees with the possession of the puck. There's a quick shot off the iron from Krupa. Rebound picked up by Harebek. As Craig Wright was right there and couldn't beat Harebek on this one. There's a nice look at the curl attempt. Rebound come out. And Wright thwarted by the pad of Harebek. Ironman, Mitch Brown win the draw, and Ratchford with possession. He's going to find the aforementioned Mitch Brown as he rifles that one off the shin pad of Sleggers. Ratchford in his defensive post, breakout pass, stretches it out. There's a pass attempt to Farmer who couldn't quite stretch out enough to get it. Bees in their own zone try to break out pass here. Picked up by the Ironman who just dump it in. Fulcher, he's going to backhand it into Sleggers. Sleggers met by Farmer into the corner. Farmer like a wrecking crew in that corner as the puck comes loose out in behind Fulcher. Farmer again knocks the puck off, tries to center it, hits the net instead. Bees break out. Coming deep into the Ironman zone. There's a dump in and there's a hard hit from Ratchford on Ryan Marshall as the crowd gets going. The physicality picking up a little bit more. The first period not as physical, especially as that South Division final series with the Orangeville Blitz. My oh my, that was a physical affair. All 6 games, very physical. And from seeing the highlights and some of the Strathroy games on YouTube, and again, kudos to the Strathroy Jets organization for their broadcasts on YouTube, and we were able to watch them. And of course, you'll be able to watch the Killer Bees broadcasts on Sportfy on pay-per-view. There's a shot from Cowan. Blocker paddle down save by Fulcher as the puck comes out. General tried to spin around and shoot. Goes off the shoulder. Dezane shot. Easily handled by the glove hand of Fulcher, and we're going to have a face-off to the right of Fulcher, to the left of us here. But yeah, hats off to the team is broadcasting. We'd love to go live. We've said it all year long. We'd love to go live on YouTube here, but unfortunately the internet not cooperating fully with us. You need certain bandwidth for that, and we're close, but no cigar on this one, so we're doing the next best thing. We upload these games as soon as we possibly can, so we record, put it right on the computer as we're packing up. By the time I get home, the games are almost already uploaded onto YouTube. Well, they're ready to upload onto YouTube by the time I get home. Bees get into the Ironman zone, but checked off the puck as the Ironmen now dump it down in. Bridgeland just beat by McGowan as Theo has it. He's going to cycle it into Bridgeland, who cycles it down to Anderson. Anderson battling in with Laurie along the net, the back of the net. Mitch Brown, shot. There's the carom off the boards, but off the back of the net. Another centering attempt off the skate of Anderson. And Fulcher had to be sharp on that one as there's a meeting of the minds in front of Caden Fulcher. As they sort that out, we're going to take a look at the replay on this one. Again, nice little dump in, easy dump in. Centering attempt, that one off the skate of, inadvertently off the skate of Anderson. Would have been a heck of a pool shot if that went in. The billiards players, the billiards fans in the building. Ironmen win the draw. There's a quick shot from LaForme. And a quick save by Fulcher as his defense swallowed the puck up. And love these Killer Bees uniforms. Love the logo. Faulkner, shot, easily handled by Harebeck, and we're going to have another face-off, this time to the left of Chris Harebeck. Both teams, the feeling out process definitely over here. They're both gunning at each other as LaForme wins another draw, and they tried to chip it out. LaForme tried to beat Faulkner but can't. McEwen, the Couteau, back to Faulkner. There's a shot, and that was a beauty save by Harebeck. Harebeck had to really lift that blocker out as LaForme and Tyler Hill try to connect on the two-man game down the other way. Got ourselves an icing call here as the linesman shows Jake Brown where exactly the puck was touched or where it wasn't touched. And we're going to have another face-off. This back to the left of Harebeck here. Well, it's going to be to the right of Harebeck. Sky winning the draw as the Ironmen collect possession of the puck. There's a shot, save, and the rebound comes out. Cunningham gets it. He's going to center it right with the shot. That's blocked. Now Kessler Sky speeds out. Sky, he's going to drop it back to Tyler. Tried to find LaForme. LaForme still with it. Shot, save, rebound, and Kessler Sky almost picks it home. But Fulcher makes the save. Tyler out to Sukol. Tyler with it again. Tyler, that big wrist shot again. Picks it up, rebound. Another shot blocked by Sleggers as Tyler Hill is pulled down. And we're going to have ourselves a penalty. That's going to be number 21, Cam Krupa, heading to the penalty box as he hauls down Tyler Hill. And the Ironmen with a full steam of momentum here. Good opportunity for them as there's the penalty right there. Ironmen with their first man advantage of this game. Face off, picked up by Thompson, and he's going to shove it all the way down, and Harebeck's going to have to play the puck around the boards to Ratchford. Ratchford's going to set things up here. An aggressive penalty kill by the Bees. Green heads into the Bees zone. Green all the way around. He's going to rim it around to Theo. Theo back to Green. He's in behind the net. He's got Anderson in the slot. Now he goes in behind the net. Theo Hill with it. Now out to Ratchford. Ratchford, he's got Green on the weak side, but ops. There's a rebound. Bridgeland almost had a handle on it, but a nice save by Fulcher. Ratchford, quick pass to Green. There's a tip. Brendan, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, clipped that one. And again, the net comes off the moorings. That's the fourth time in this game that that's happened. But boy, oh boy, that would have been a highlight reel if Anderson pulled that off. Check this play out by Brendan Anderson. He's had himself a season, folks. There it is right there. It goes between his legs and almost slipped it by Fulcher. 1:07 in the left in the man advantage for the Ironmen. Tyler Hill battling along into the boards. Now Kessler Sky pins up the Bees defense. Battle ensuing along as Lamoureux tips it out. And Ratchford has to collect with Lamoureux in pursuit of him. Lamoureux with a tight back check on him as Ratchford goes end to end. Ratchford almost goes all the way down as he knocks over Fulcher, and Fulcher is down. Strong take by Ratchford as we're going to take a look at the replay on this. Ratchford goes end to end. He has a full head of steam on him. Gets tripped up by the defender. It looks like he gets tripped up by the defender. But nonetheless, Ratchford is going to go to the penalty box for goaltender's interference. Let's look at that replay one more time. And again, Ratchford going end-end. And I believe that's McGowan with the one-hand stick check on Ratchford, and Ratchford loses his footing and goes into Fulcher. So 7 minutes to go here in the second period. We're down to 4-on-4 action for 37 seconds now. It's Ratchford for goaltender's interference. McGowan out to Sleggers. Sleggers spins off the check as he's into the slaughter. There's a shot from Couteau. And a beautiful save by Hrebeck. Boy, oh boy, that was a sizzler. McGowan, shot. That one goes over the shoulder and the crossbar of Hrebeck. As Anderson checks Thompson off the puck, and Sukol now has it. Sukol, there's a shot off the shin pad of Sleggers. There's another opportunity from Sukol, and Fulcher had to be sharp on that. We're down to a one-man advantage now for the Bees. Lamoureux shot. That one goes up top. Lamoureux picks it up. Got Couteau. He had that trigger ready for the one time. Got it, but into the breadbasket of Jake Brown. McGowan, he's working his magic, loses the puck to Theo Hill, who happily goes in behind his bench and skips it. Almost had Anderson as he was almost ready to go for the line change, but almost got the stretch pass. McEwen, Lamoureux now with it. Lamoureux into the corner, back to Thompson. Thompson, Lamoureux in behind the net. Lamoureux back to Thompson. Thompson shot, and that one off the shin pad of Jake Brown as Mitch Brown now has it and hands it off to Cowan, who loses an edge, and it looks like he's lost a skate blade. Couteau shot, and there's another save. That one was a big one by Hrebeck. Tycee Cowan absolutely destroys his stick on the bench. Looks like he has some skate problems in there. Laurie tries to center it, but can't. Couteau. Out to right. Right drops it back. There's a big shot from Faulkner. Ricochet comes off. Oh boy, there's a save. Clip that one too, folks. Hrebeck had to be sharp on that one as the Bouncing puck off the boards, comes out in the goal mouth area, and Horebeck had to make a save off the carom. And knowing these boards, they are very active. You shoot it off the board and it comes right back at you. Horebeck's had to be sharp on this Killer Bees power play. Their third of the game, I believe. Shaftsma tries to find Krupa but can't as the puck comes into the neutral zone, and Farmer, in pursuit of it, battles along with Sleggers. Puck dumped down deep, and we've got ourselves an icing call. Let's take a look at that last one on the replay. There's a couple of highlights here, but boy, oh boy. Horebeck had to be sharp. There's the puck, comes off the boards. He had to push hard to get that pass and save. Oh yeah, Tycee Cowan broke his blade. Looks like he needs a new skate. So he gets some help going to the dressing room, and hopefully there's a spare skate kicking around the dressing room area for Tycee Cowan to continue. LaForme in behind his own net. There's a shot. Tipped up by Sky, and the puck comes in behind the net. Back to 5-on-5 action here. LaForme, he's going to spin it around, goes all the way around the net. Tyler Hill in pursuit. There's a loose puck. LaForme almost got a stick hand on it, but couldn't. Faulkner's just going to take it, dump it down, and head in for a change. There's a Krupa and LaForme tied up just to the left of Horebeck as play continues down in the B zone. McGowan breaks out of his own end, calls his own number, knocked off the puck by Sky. Tyler Hill dumps it in. Sky again in pursuit, wins the battle and gets the puck into the corner. Sky, he looks for a centering pass, but a nice stick check by McGowan as the battle in behind Fulcher. Tyler Hill, big shot. That one off the pad. Here's another one by Sukal. That one whistles wide of the goal mouth area. Karam comes out in the possession of Sukal, who is hit hard by Cunningham there. And that one was offside, as Sukal was blindsided by that check. Clean check, but Sukal didn't see it coming as he dumped it out right along the Ironmen bench there, and a nice hard check by the Killer Bees forward. McEwen, Theo Hill on the draw. As the linemen try to clean up shop here with Anderson and Couteau. Theo wins the draw, pushes it into the Killer Bees zone. Theo in pursuit as the puck goes along the boards. Bridgeland knocked down. McEwen picks it up and hands it off to Couteau, who tries to go one-on-one with Jake Brown. Couteau knocked off the puck by Sukal, who now does his best impersonation of a bee and tries to buzz the boards. McEwen spins around, shot. Karam off the shin pad comes down. Shot by Marshall. Marshall picks it up again. There's a beautiful tip from Thompson. We'll take a look at that one as well. Just a nice shot from the point. But that's what these teams are trying to do. They're trying to get that shot from the point and get the redirect right there. And both goaltenders really have to be square to the puck on this. They have to be square to the puck on it and make sure they get the shooter and the tip. That's a tough shot to stop, especially when redirected like that. Theo loses the puck to Couteau. Thompson in a battle with Theo Hill. Puck in deep into the Ironman zone. Thompson knocked off the puck and now on to Anderson's stick. Anderson on the left side. He's going to cross the blue line. Tried to find Mitch Green but couldn't connect. There's an intercepted pass. Anderson with it. Shot, save, rebound. Oh, clipped that one. As Fulcher had to be sharp on that one off the stick of Brendan Anderson. Ratchford out to Green. Green wrists, redirect. Shot, scores! Terry Bridgeland with the goal. And the Ironmen take a 4-2 lead. Get the puck on net, and you never know what happens. And we'll take a look at this one as Terry Bridgeland with the rebound and puts it home. And as the celebration continues, Tycee Cowan looked like he found a new skate or a new blade, and he's back on the ice as well and on the bench. Big goal, just under a minute to go in the second period. 45 to go here in the second frame. And Terry Bridgeland makes it 4-2 Six Nations Ironmen here in game number 2 of this NPHL Metropolitan Conference Final. .28 seconds to go here in the second period. The Ironmen have really taken control of this frame. And now we're up by a pair. Brown with the face-off victory, but in possession of the Bees. Sleggers picks it up, the drop pass. He tried to center it to Gagne, but they couldn't connect. Hopkins dumps it in. Oh, there's the redirect from Brown's hand. He's got it. Puck comes out. McGowan easily handles it. McGowan down the right side. McGowan, he's going to call his own number. There's a backhand shot, and that one's a tough shot to stop. And Chris Harebeck makes the save to end the second period. And after 40 minutes here in game number 2 of the NPHL Metropolitan Conference Final, it is the Six Nations Ironmen 4, the Alvinston Killer Bees 2. Shots on net in the second period by the Ironmen 16, Killer Bees 13, for a game total of 30-29. Fulcher and Harebeck both super sharp in this one. Goals in the second period, Tyler Hill and Terry Bridgeland making it 3-2 and then 4-2. So that is the second period summary. We'll reset the entire game when the third, or just before the third period begins. Again, my name is Darryl Smart. Thank you very much for following us along on this ride on the Darryl Smart Media YouTube page. And of course, Ben Hill, my good buddy, on the camera, one of the best cameramen in the business. He does a lot of Brantford Bulldog games, and pretty lucky to have him on board. So for Ben, I'm Darryl. We will be back with more NPHL Metropolitan Conference Championship hockey action between the Alvinston Killer Bees and the Six Nations Ironmen when the third period continues. Thanks again for watching. Welcome back to the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Memorial Center. Darryl Smart along with you for this one. Ben Hill on the camera, my good buddy. And thank you very much for watching us here on the Darryl Smart Media YouTube page. If you're new to the page, make sure you follow along, give us a subscribe and a like, and all that fun algorithm stuff. Follow along and you'll watch every Ironman game at home this season here on the Darryl Smart Media YouTube page. It was a great partnership to have and hopefully something we can continue on to next season. But before next season, we're talking championship, folks, and this is game number 2 of the NPHL Metropolitan Conference Championship Series between the Six Nations Ironmen and the Alvinston Killer Bees. Resetting that second period, 16-13 shots on net in favor of the Ironmen. It was 16-14 in favor of the Bees in period number 1 for a game total of 30-29 in favor of the home side, Six Nations Ironmen. It was 2-2 heading into the second period, thanks to Brandon Couteau and Jamie Shaftsma. And then Isaac Sukal and Tyler Hill responded to those goals before Tyler Hill gave the Ironmen a 3-2 lead, and Terry Bridgeland made it a 2-goal lead for the home side as the Undertaker music draws us into the third period. We've got Shaftsma and Theo Hill in the dot, and period 3 is set to go here. McGowan breaking out of his own end, crosses into the blue line. There's a quick snapshot and into the breadbasket of Chris Horebek. Both goaltenders have had to be sharp in this one. We've talked all about it. Talked about the depth of goaltending for the Killer Bees. It's almost embarrassing how you have 1A and 1B, that's for certain. 2 guys with pro experience. That's definitely a note in your pocket. There's a centering pass to Lamoureux, but he couldn't get a handle on it. But of course, you got to talk about Chris Horebek, who has been, one word, outstanding throughout this NPHL playoff. Anderson loses a wheel as the Bees center it. Gagner couldn't get a handle on it. Now Shaftsma spins around and dumps it in to Lamoureux. Lamoureux checked off the puck by Theo, but the Bees now have it again, and Sleggers dumps it down. Anderson with possession in the neutral zone. Teams jostling for possession here as Lamoureux out of his own end. He's met by a big check from Kessler Sky. Battle along the boards just underneath us here. We're just over top of the penalty box. So if you're here at the Six Nations Sports and Memorial Cultural Center, make sure you let us know you're here and say hi next game. Of course, these games are on YouTube. It's great. If you can't get here, it's great to share these games with you. But if you have the opportunity to come to the arena here on Six Nations of the Grand River, and there's a shot save, that one off the stick of Couteau. You got to come to the arena here on Six Nations of the Grand River. And a great atmosphere this organization has really been building all season long, and a great community following, and it's been great to see. And yeah, you'll have to come down to the arena, catch the game live. It's great to watch it on YouTube, but even better to be here in person. There's another save by Horebek as the rebound picked up, and Ratchford brings it down. He's going to pass it out to Tyler. Kessler Sky with the backhand. Just goes wide as he chases it and gets it to Green. Oh, there's a redirect attempt by Mitch Brown from Mitch Green. Puck stays in. There's a nice hustle play by Kessler Green. Brown tried to get it to Tyler Hill, but he couldn't get a handle on the puck as Couteau now has it. Couteau with a nice toe drag, but couldn't get around Mitch Green. Puck in the neutral zone. Tyler Hill in pursuit, and he's going to dump it in and head to the bench. Hopkins picks up the puck. Battle ensues along with Faulkner. Ratchford and Cunningham battle for it. Right now with it, tries to center it to Krupa, but Krupa knocked off the puck as Farmer with the big shoulder up on Krupa. There's a shot from Slegers, and that one redirected by the stick shaft of Chris Horebeck, and we're going to have ourselves a face-off to the left of the Six Nations Ironman netminder. Mitch Brown. Craig Wright on the draw. Loose puck won by the Bees. Faulkner's going to dump it in. Ratchford heads it up the green. There's Faulkner again with the shot. That one knocked down by the glove of Horebeck. Stretch pass for Farmer. Farmer tries to drop it back to green, but they couldn't connect. Rebound comes out, and Farmer checked in, and Fulcher, Johnny on the spot to look at. As he adjusts his mask there, got his glove back. Cunningham on the blue line. He's going to dump it in cross country out to Wright. Wright out to Krupa. Krupa's going to get it back to the point to McGowan. Krupa again. Up the middle of the ice. He's going to drop it back. This one to Laurie. Laurie, dump in temp. Lamoureux with the quick shot. And again, tried to catch Horebeck napping, but certainly was not the case as Anderson dumps it in. Puck down deep into the Killer Bees zone. As Theo Hill tries to knock the puck off Wright, but Lamoureux with it now. Lamoureux in behind his own net. Forechecked hard by Theo, who comes up with the puck. That's a great forecheck by Theo Hill, and he gets a hand from the crowd and his bench. Great forecheck by the Ironmen. That's something that happened to them quite a bit in the Orangeville series. Tasting a little bit of medicine from that series. Taking what was used against them to their advantage here. Fulcher, he's going to backhand it around to Faulkner. Faulkner stick checked a pair of times before losing the puck. Now Theo has it. Theo, he's going to spin off the blue line now out of the zone. Theo's going to have to hold on to it until Anderson and Kessler Sky get out of the zone as they head to the bench. Theo with it. He's going to dance around. Theo! Stretch save by Fulcher. Boy, oh boy. Caden Fulcher had to stretch all the way around to make the save. Let's take a look at that one, folks. Oh, man. Great stretch pass out to Theo Hill. Theo Hill breaks through. And Fulcher had to stretch all the way out. That's a tough save, folks. That really is a difficult save to make. And Caden Fulcher making it look easy. Turning Theo Hill aside. Oh, we've got our 50-50. That's the break in the action. The official had to, all the players in the face-off circle, McEwen and LaForme kind of chuckling along. They know the drill. Third period. They got to call that 50-50, and the 50-50 should be a great prize. Before the game even started, it was $1,000. Slegers with it in his own zone. He's going to spin around and trying to set up shop and break out. His pass to Thompson off along the left side boards as LaForme meets him and collects the puck. LaForme outlet pass to Kessler Sky, but he couldn't connect as the Bees regroup into their own zone. Tyler to LaForme. LaForme's going to get it out to Sky, but that pass thwarted by McGowan. Tyler dumps it in. Fulcher's going to set up shop and hand it off to Slegers. Again, Slegers, he's a local here to the Six Nations area from Port Dover. Followed him on his hockey jersey in the journalism days. Played in the SPHL, I believe, recently. Played with the Delhi Flames for a little bit. Played with Port Dover Sailors. Played Junior C with the Sailors before moving on to Junior B. Won a Sutherland Cup with the Elmira Sugar Kings before heading out to the University of Windsor. So great hockey experience. Looks like the Killer Bees snagged him for the season. Puck dumped in, deep into the Alvinston zone. A breakout pass to Coutu. Coutu tries to go across. There's a big, heavy shot from Craig Wright. But that one off the shin pad or the stick of an Ironman defenseman, and it goes well wide, high, and up into the ceiling and into the corner for a fan to grab it. That Craig Wright, Mitch Brown on the face-off dot here. Face-off, won by the Bees. There's a centering pass. Shot into the maze of traffic. Mitch Brown comes out with it, tries to get it out, but can't. Krupa centers it. There's a shot blocked by Brown off the stick of Cunningham as Farmer comes out and he's got Hopkins with him. This is a real checking line here. Hopkins, Farmer, and Brown. Real blue-collar line here that Ryan Davis has out for the Ironmen. Just a great forechecking line. They're going to sit back now here, looks like. Going to try and force the Killer Bees to come at them as there's a stretch pass attempt to Cunningham, picked up by the Ironmen. Farmer now tried to do the outlet pass to Brown, but couldn't connect. Bees into their own zone now, trying to stretch things out themselves here, and the puck goes down deep into the Ironman zone. Mitch Green met by a check from Shaftsma as the puck left alone in the face-off dot. And Slegers picks it up. He's going to backhand it out of the Faulkner, who puts it on net, but misses wide. And there's a quick shot from Gagne, or Cunningham, sorry. And Huraybeck easily handles that. And it's deep into game number 2, so the hostilities are starting to build. These two teams only playing twice all season, I believe. Once home, once away. So this is only their 4th meeting of the season, counting last night's game 1 of the series. There's a little bit of familiarity, but not as much as, say, a Northern Division rival like the Orangeville Blitz. Draw won by the Ironmen. Just over 11 minutes to go here in the 3rd period as Lamoureux. There's a quick shot. A one-time by McEwen. There's another shot. That one hits the crossbar. That's off the stick of Gagne. Centering pass to Slegers. Out to McGowan. McGowan dumps it in to Gagne. He goes around the net to Slegers. He's going to pick it up. Going to try and dump it on. And a beautiful shot block by the goal scorer, Brendan Anderson. You can tell it's playoff hockey, folks. You have your goal scorers blocking shots in the 3rd period. That says it all right there, folks. You have guys that are used to playing offensive roles, putting the puck in the net for your team. And they're laying it all on the line, and all these guys have to go to work the next day laying it out on the line. Brendan Anderson flat out on the shot block. McEwen, Theo Hill on the draw. McEwen wins it, and the Killer Bees try to dump it in, but Ratchford picks it up. Bridgeland to Theo. Theo on net. Looked like he was going to dump it in, but opted to put it on net and tried to catch Fulcher napping, but a nice save by Fulcher. Couteau, he's going to take his time getting out of his own zone and hands it off to McGowan. McGowan deep into the Ironman zone. There's the backhand pass. That's a nice save by Huraybeck as McGowan has it once again, and another shot blocked, this time by Stephen Laforme. Laforme gets it, tries to get it to Anderson. as the two forwards with the most recent shot blocks try to get rewarded. Laforme, goalmouth area, rebound comes out. Sky couldn't get a handle on it, and Fulcher making another nice save. The Ironmen really not intimidated. There's a one-time attempt by McEwen. And that one just off the mark. Couteau knocked down by Tyler Hill. And it looks like Tyler Hill is going to go to the penalty box for a hold, I believe. And then we're going to look at the replay here on this. There it is right there. Listen to the 50-50. Shaftsma, Mitch Brown on the draw. Mitch wins the draw, but in possession at the blue line for the Bees. There's a shot on net. Off the stick of Laurie. Just over $1,400 on the 50-50. Looks like I might have to, Ben, you and I might have to get a 50-50 next game. Brown and Shaftsma. Shaftsma wins this one. Is Faulkner now with it on the blue line. Faulkner. There's a centering pass. Lamoureux couldn't get a handle on it. And there's a save as Hrebeck stacks it. As Hrebeck does a little bit of Dominic Hasek action. Make the save as Faulkner with the extra stick handle puts things offside, and we'll take a look at that save by Hrebeck. Bees really pressing here. Faulkner looked like he was about to celebrate the goal. But great pressure by the Killer Bees here. About a minute 20 to go here in their man advantage. I believe it's their 5th man advantage of the game. Chris Hrebeck being the best penalty killer on the ice right now. Dump in by Thompson, and it goes all the way around, met by Sukol. Jake Brown's going to get it. He's going to do the exact same thing and make Fulcher play the puck, and Fulcher's going to just set it aside for James McEwen. Thompson with it. He's going to drop it back to Couteau. Gagner back to Couteau. Laurie up top. Out to McEwen. McEwen, he's going to shoot it. There's a shot and a goal. A nice little play there by the Alvinston Killer Bees on the power play. And they make it a 1-goal game at 4-3 in favor of the Ironmen. Let's take a look at this one. That's just a nice play by the Killer Bees, moving the puck around and again trying to get the puck on net, trying to redirect, trying to get Hrebeck out of position. And that's what they did with that redirect. They got Hrebeck out of position, put it the other way, and the puck came out loose. And Hrebeck was already anticipating the tip, but the tip went the other way. And the Alvinston Killer Bees put it home. And now the Six Nations Ironman lead is 4-3 with 7.5 to go here in the third period. Great man advantage hockey by the Killer Bees to make it a 1-goal game here as they have been pressing for the last little bit. Ratchford rims it around. As you can hear the Killer Bees fans cheering on their team with the Let's Go Bees chant. It's great to see, a great atmosphere here at the arena. Oh, there's a shot. That one off the stick of right. And Hrebeck had to be sharp on that one. He was deep in his net. Had to make the big pad save off Craig Wright's slap shot as he spun around. Mitch Brown on the backhand, gets it along the boards to Farmer, dumps it down with one hand. Farmer battles all by himself with a pair of Killer Bee defenseman. Mitch Brown in behind the net and has it. He's going to rim it to Sukal, who now rims it all the way around, and Farmer's going to get to it. Farmer and Wright meet in the corner, but Slegers now picks it up in behind his net. There's a cross ice pass, almost intersected, but the Killer Bee is still with it. As they tried to stretch out the action here along the blue line, but the extra shot block or the pass block by the Ironmen forwards forced the offside here and face off just right underneath us here in the broadcast booth. Isaac Sukal, he's got a goal tonight, tries to get it out but can't as Lamoureux picks it up and dumps it back in. Hopkins, he's got it, he's got numbers with him. Farmer with it, Farmer's shot, rebound, saved by Fulcher. A pair of shots from Farmer and Caden Fulcher up to task. There's a drop pass, this one out to Lamoureux. Lamoureux, he tries to center but couldn't find anyone. Drop pass to Faulkner. Faulkner shot, that's a hard drive. The puck comes out again. Those boards being very active here at the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Memorial Center. Anderson tries to beat Faulkner, dumps it down in. It's Mitch Brown and Brendan Anderson battle with Faulkner and Marshall. Gagné, he's got numbers. He's going to stop, pop, and roll it out to Shapsma. Shapsma on the backhand. And Chris Horebeck on the ball and with the butterfly makes the save and then covers it up, and we've got ourselves another stoppage in play here. 5:13 to go. Third period action. Ironman 4, Bees 3. As the Bees are buzzing here offensively. Shot turned aside by Horebeck into the corner. There's a centering pass off the stick of McEwen. And we've got another stoppage in play here. Of course, this is game number 2 of the Metropolitan Conference Final. Game number 3, back at the Brook Alvinston Inwood Community Center on Thursday night. Mark that, Thursday night at 8:30 in Alvinston. With game 4 back here on Saturday. Note the day, Saturday at 3:30. And game 5 is going to be in Alvinston on the Sunday. So lots of hockey action heading into next weekend. There's a spin from Couteau off the shin pad. So tons of hockey for these two teams. Started off the series with 2 games this weekend, Saturday and today. And then 3 games in 4 days next weekend, starting on Thursday. Ratchford, he's going to lead the charge here for the Ironmen. He crosses the blue line. He's going to shoot that one off the stick of Fulcher and knock the stick out of Fulcher's hand, actually. Those don't feel good. The vibration off the stick. As Krupa has it into the corner. Krupa met by Ratchford, knocked off as LaForme's going to pick it up. And an outlet pass for Tyler Hill. Tyler tries to stretch things out but couldn't connect. As Slegers now has it in his own zone. Marshall crosses the blue line and dumps it in for his teammates. As Slegers tries to be the first man in but can't as Ratchford knocks it out. Another dump in attempt by the Alvinston Killer Bees. As action continues as LaForme has it now. LaForme centers it out to Sky. Sky shot. Oh, big save by Fulcher. Clip that one, folks. Caden Fulcher has kept this game close. Boy, oh boy, Kessler Sky all alone. And Caden Fulcher with the big save. And that's a big one. There's a one-time shot from Tyler Hill. And as another save by Fulcher, and Fulcher's down, and Tyler Hill went down. He followed up the shot. Let's look at the first replay, though. Boy, oh boy. Kessler Sky all alone here. We'll take a look at the replay on that other opportunity. Boy, oh boy, the Ironmen, 2 close calls there, but Caden Fulcher up to the task and keeping the Killer Bees into this one as they only trail by 1 goal. Bees breaking out. Tried to dump in, but the Bees are offside. And of course, in the Capital Conference, it's the Manitouk Mariners and the Tweed Oil Kings going at it. Manitouk winning the first game 4-1. Tweed winning the second 4-3. Tweed winning the game 3, 6-4. And Manitouk winning game 4, 6-5. So that one almost going the distance as we've got ourselves a meeting of the minds between Couteau and Farmer. Minute 55 to go here in the third period. Ironmen up by 1 goal. Mitch Brown wins the draw. Fans not liking that at all. Terry Bridgeland's goal. The go-ahead goal so far in this one is the officials finally drop the puck. Puck dropped all the way down. And we've got a minute 44 to go here in the third period. I think the Ironmen, Ryan Davis, Darryl Anderson, and the rest of the Ironmen pretty happy that they'll let the Killer Bees ice the puck here as face-off won by Mitch Brown. There's a shot from the point from Ratchford, handled by Fulcher. Shots on net so far in this third period. 13-13 after that shot from Ratchford. McEwen, Brown on the dot. Couteau now with it and dumps it down deep into the Ironman zone. Centering pass, puck out in the slot area, picked up by Hopkins. He's going to try and chip it out. The Slegers and Brown battle for it deep into the Alvinston zone. McGowan, he's going to try and stretch things out. Trying to find McEwen. Thompson out to Slegers. Slegers out of the blue line, knocks that one down. Loose puck comes out for Thompson. Thompson in the slot area. He's got Couteau and Lamoureux with him. As Ratchford picks up the dump in an attempt, and oh, the empty net. And it off the pipe. Wow, that was close. Oh, man. That's a close one, folks. Ratchford took that one off the pipe, and Ryan Davis is questioning why it's an ice. because it did hit the post. But regardless, we've got a timeout on the ice here. Boy, oh boy, this has been a great game, folks. We've been treated to some great hockey both nights. And of course, you'll be able to watch Game 3 of this series. Either head to Alvinston for an 8:30 start, or you can watch it. Check out the Alvinston Killer Bees website. They live stream the games on a pay-per-view basis through Sporfy. Those guys do a great job. Kudos to them. A tip of the cap and all that other fun stuff. It's been great bringing you these games for the Six Nations Ironmen all season long. And again, we'd love to stream the games, but our internet connection up here in the broadcast booth, if we were able to get a 300 or 400 foot internet cable, it might be possible. Keyword might be possible. But nonetheless, we like bringing you these tape delay games. There's nothing better than seeing it in person and then watching it after. Big face-off here, 51 seconds to go in the game. Ironmen lead by 1. Bridgeland, McEwen in the face-off dot. 50-50 in possession of the Ironmen and Bridgeland. Anderson tries to chop that one out of the zone, but can, and Bridgeland gets it and gets it out of the blue line, and the Bees are forced to regroup in their own zone. Lamoureux with it over the blue line, and he's checked off the puck by Anderson. Bridgeland chips it. Sukal chips it again, and that one's going to go all the way down. With 21 seconds to go. Forgot to hit the clock button on the producer's desk here. Too busy getting wrapped up into the action. Bridgeland, McEwen in the face-off dot. 21 seconds to go here. Bees with possession. Theo Hill with a big battle up on the blue line. He knocks Laurie off the puck. The puck's still in the Bees zone. Lamoureux drops it off to Thompson, who dumps it down. Couteau with it. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. And that's all she wrote, folks. And the Six Nations Ironmen get on the board in this Northern Premier Hockey League Metropolitan Conference Championship Series with a 4-3 victory over the Alvinston Killer Bees. My, oh my, folks, what a game. It was a doozy, folks. If this is any sign of what this series is going to be like, sign me up, because it's going to be a doozy. That's for sure. As the Six Nations Ironmen salute the crowd after this one. But again, let's reset here. Shots on net in the third period. 13-13 in the third period for a game total of 44-43 in favor of the Ironmen. So both goaltenders, Caden Fulcher and Chris Horebeck, had to be top-notch tonight, as both goaltenders faced a ton of rubber, and not just rubber, grade A scoring opportunities, and both Fulcher and Horebeck were up to the task on that, and what a great goaltenders duel that was. Sheldon Thompson, the only goal scorer in the third period to make it 4-3. Let's reset this one, though. Brandon Couture, he scored the game's first goal about 5 minutes into the game, and Isaac Sukal and Tyler Hill responded midway through the first period to make it 2-1 Ironman before Jamie Shafsma tied things up late in the first period at 2 goals apiece. Second period, that's when the things happened for the Ironmen. The Ironmen really did a nice job of getting physical, imposing their will in on the visiting Alvinston Killer Bees, with Tyler Hill scoring to go ahead 3-2. Terry Bridgeland getting the eventual game winner at 4-3 before Sheldon Thompson made it a 1-goal game in the third period midway through the frame. So that is all for game number 2. And again, game number 3 of this series, 8:30 on Thursday night in Alvinston. Check out the Alvinston Kilbreeze website for the game. For tickets, especially if you're traveling in from Six Nations, check their website because they do sell advanced tickets online. And that barn usually fills up very quickly. So get your tickets online if you want to travel to Alvinston for that one. And if you can't make it, of course, check out their website. They stream the games via Sportfy on a pay-per-view basis. But we will be back here for game number 4 of the series. Note the date on Saturday at 3:30. Same time, just a different day. Saturday, 3:30, back here at the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Memorial Center for game number 4 of this Northern Premier Hockey League Metropolitan Conference Championship Series. So game 2 goes to the hometown Six Nations Ironmen by a score of 4-3. For Ben Hill, working the camera, the best in the business, my name is Darryl Smart, and thank you very much for joining us on the Darryl Smart Media YouTube page for Six Nations Ironman action all season long. Make sure you give us a subscribe and a like and all that fun stuff for the algorithms. Follow along. You can watch every Ironman home game here on the Darryl Smart Media YouTube page. Thank you for watching, and we will see you when Game 4 takes place next Saturday.